Have you ever wondered why?
When?
How much?
What if?
Well, you're in luck, because you're listening to the Hypotheticast.
3 best buds.
On a mission.
To ask all the questions?
And get all the answers.
I was born with both guns blazing, and I do think I'm amazing. You got the dignity to feel a little about yourself. I don't care what your preacher says. I got my own vicious ways. Only got one commandment and it goes, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Oh, hello there.
Who might you be?
It's me, Mike.
Oh, Mike, I was hoping you would really lean into like some kind of innkeeper character.
I mean, I've never said that I couldn't be a local burgomeister.
He
that
just
could
said
be a
his
job.
name is Mike, so.
Could be anything.
That's true. Hi, Mike. My name's David.
Hi, David.
What's your name, person who just spoke?
Emily.
Ooh, there
With
was
a
a minute where you
sigh.
were thinking about being an innkeeper,
I thought about
maybe.
being fun and
Oh, you could be
I thought
fun.
about
just-
being fun.
We can do it again. You want to do this is like a family picture. So we just did the serious one. But now we have to do a goofy
okay,
one.
okay.
So this time we'll all say someone that we're not. Okay? And it's going to be really funny.
Okay.
So get ready. It's comedy time.
Are you going to count again?
Yeah.
Count it.
So 3,
Okay.
2,
Uh-huh.
1, but funny.
Hey, I'm David, but funny.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Plath.
Hey, I'm Jim Belushi.
Wow, what a cavalcade of characters.
Are we going to play a game or should I go write sad poems?
I think you should do that while we talk about the answer to the dark story that we
Oh my gosh.
teased last episode.
Sylvia Plath, find that dark story.
Let me just open up the
honestly,
app.
that's probably Sylvia Plath is alive and well in the spirit of dark stories.
Yeah, I picture her.
She would probably write some dope ones.
Flannery O'Connor, Joyce Carol Oates,
yeah.
all having a sleepover and telling
Audre
dark
Lorde's
stories.
totally there.
God.
I would pay so much money to see that.
So last week we played a round of dark stories. It was thrilling. And
chilling.
we ended on one that we didn't answer because we wanted everybody to dwell on it. Mike and David.
I mean, I think one of us got it with our good guess.
They did have a couple good guesses. Let's see what the answer is. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a long one. Oh, wait. First, I have to read it again.
Yeah, read what it was.
What was it?
This is what it was. The flood. There is a flood in a building. Although most of the people who are there are sad, several of them are really happy.
What a weird story.
The flood occurred in a school when a pipe broke in Professor Smith's office. A few days earlier, Professor Smith had given a complicated exam to his students, and he had not corrected their answers yet. The water spoiled the exam papers, and some students who surely would not have passed the exam were happy to have been granted another chance. I love that this assumes that the only children that would be happy about their school flooding are kids who are maybe going to fail an exam. Although that's not, I mean, like, I think in reality, a lot of kids would be ultimately sad. But I think like on the day that you find out your school is flooded and you don't have school, you're going to be like, yeah.
There would be some kids that would just be like, fucking yeah, woo, no school today.
I don't even think just the kids would be excited. I think I think the teachers would be excited too.
Maybe
Like, the school
Professor
flooded, we
Smith is the
can't.
one who broke the pipe.
Yeah,
Ooh,
maybe.
That's the dark story within the dark story. But who break
The
pipe?
school flooded. Wait, I didn't. It was long, and I missed the middle part. Did the flooding like wreck the exams, or did they just
wreck
cancel
the
school?
papers.
He hadn't corrected them yet. And since the source of the flood was in his office, they were ruined.
Doesn't even sound like school was canceled.
It doesn't
just sounds
really.
like the papers
and I also
were
want to be like, do you kids think that like you're just going to get A's then? Like you think you're not going to get... Isn't he just going to give you the
hand
exam
wrote
again?
all the papers. He didn't print them out. He hand wrote them, and so it's impossible to recover this test, and it'll just never be given.
He doesn't remember what was on it, so...
Yeah, I have some real qualms about this dark story.
Yeah, fact check.
Gugh. Anyway.
So what are we going to do
thanks,
here
Emily.
today?
What are we gonna do here today?
What? I'll tell you. It's a game. It's called Romantic Dramedy. What? Wait a minute. What does that stand for? Does anybody remember what romantic dramedy stands for? Mike, take it away.
Romantic Ovaltine might absolutely not touch in case dromedaries really are mooning eels. Dogs yell.
there was a period.
Yeah,
in
there
there
was
and then
another
dogs
sentence.
Yell.
Yeah,
they do. Dogs do yell. Well, you got it all except the last two words.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you almost had. You were so close. It was like a spelling bee where they get it all down to the last letter and then they say an E instead of an A.
Dang.
No, it stands for rather odd matches and non-traditional instances of coupling described really aggressively, majestically, ethically, and dramatically. Yes.
So you started a new sentence at the end of yours, like I did.
No, there's a comma.
Oh,
it's like a response
comma.
to itself. Yeah.
Just a comma and a yes. Okay.
It's just saying like,
It's like how anything can be a question if you say it like a question.
Yep.
I see.
Exactly. So we're going to play that game. And this game involves some generators from seventhsanctum.com.
Thank you, Seventh Sanctum.
We owe you our
to
lives.
my friends over at Seventh Sanctum. Shout out to them. Go check out their generators.
Should we see if they want to sponsor us?
Dragons or cat boys or any names for anything that you're making.
Go to Seventh Sanctum, use the code Hypotheticast. You'll get 10% off your next name generator.
10% off their free service. What a deal.
And a free block of cheese mailed to your home at a mystery time.
Dang, for real? So they have a bunch of generators, and we're going to use some of them today to make up characters, beings. Most of them are going to be some kind of a fantasy character. Sometimes they're cowboys. Sometimes they're kind of like wrestlers, maybe. Their names generated by some wonderful bits of computing.
And then we're going to put them in romantic movies.
Exactly. We're going to have them kiss and more, potentially. We're going to see how they meet. We're going to see how they fall in love. We're going to see maybe how they fall out of love. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Who wants an assignment? Who wants to go first?
Me.
Mike. All right, friend. Please choose between these two name generators for me. Extreme fantasy or humorous monster?
I'll take extreme fantasy, please.
Yeah, you will, baby. All right, your options are Jericho Grimm.
Oh, no.
The Machete King.
Okay.
Or Griefquake.
I'll take the Machete King.
All right, Machete King it is, baby. Emily, would you like a straight up monster or an action animal?
Let's do straight up monster.
Straight up monster. Your options are Desert Lump, Rusty Pudding Thing, or Fish Mound.
Fish Mound.
Your face lit up. Fish Mound. All right, we got Machete King and Fish Mound. Mike, why don't you tell me a little bit about who you think Machete King is? Just like kind of the convention that we usually do is a dating profile, like a 1 or 2 sentence, what they're out there looking for and maybe what sums them up.
All right, this is the Machete King's Tinder profile. Machete King, 47, never married, no kids, 57 knives.
Knives, not machetes.
Big fan of the moon and looking for something real.
Ooh.
Spaghetti with a question mark. Just the word spaghetti with a
like
question
an invitation to a date.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. Spaghetti does rhyme with machete. That's catchy.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you
I like that. That's probably why he did it. I have a question. Is the Machete King a person?
Yeah.
A human being?
Machete King is a person.
Okay.
His name is Eddie.
Eddie. Oh,
Yeah.
Eddie the Machete King that likes spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
So cute.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily, what about Fish Mound? What's going on in there?
Fish Mound. 29 is a monster made of a mound of fish.
Good.
Important to clarify, I guess, if you are that.
Not into astrology or any of that woo-woo stuff.
Ooh.
Can hang with the boys.
Great.
Not interested in playing games. I've been
Maybe looking
burned
for something
before,
real.
but I get back up again.
Oh my God. This is actually a lot of dating profiles.
I assume.
I thought
just-
I thought the profile was just going to be fish mound.
Fish mound. Just the
I
words.
should have
fish
stopped
mound.
there.
Yeah, it says it all. Well, okay. That sounds pretty exciting. I think what's wild is that other than the name and the existence of Fish Mound, that's a really conventional dating profile. It's very much like, hey, I don't want to mess around. I've been burned before. Coming back strong, baby, Fish Mound style. # Fish Mound. Do either of you have an inkling about how these two meet? How does the Machete King and the Fish Mound's lives, how do they intersect?
I think this is what goes down. Machete King, Eddie the Machete King, likes to volunteer at the Pike Place Fish Market in Seattle, Washington. Not actually employed there, but he has a lot of knives, so they let him hang out. And he cuts up the fish sometimes if there's extra. Now,
So wait,
just throw me an extra.
I have an immediate question.
Okay.
Is that of service to the fish market, or does he volunteer there so he can go use his knives on these extra garbage fish?
They just try to
What's
keep
going
to
on?
keep him out of the way, but he really wants to be included, but that's not his actual job. But he's harmless. Like, he just wants to use his knives.
What is his actual job?
His actual job is he's an actuary.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he actually makes
His
really good money doing
actuarial
that.
job.
But so he can afford some really nice knives.
Nice. That's awesome.
And I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you. Well, I guess you're not Fish Mound, but how do you think Fish Mound ends up at the Pike Place Fish Market?
Well, I think that Fish Mound obviously looks a bit unconventional, even compared to other monsters.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't really fit in, the human world, doesn't really fit in the monster world. But the fish market is just like a place she can go to just sort of relax. She's not going to get any unnecessary attention. She can just kind of be herself there. So she hangs out there a lot.
Be yourself. Can I ask you, how does Fish Mound get around being a pile of fish?
It's a good question.
So I'm going to just be really honest about how I've been picturing Fish Mound.
Be
I've
honest.
been picturing Fish Mound as though she were made by a puppet maker for the Muppets. So I've just been picturing
like a Jim Henson.
a pile. It looks like a pile of fish made out of cloth. And then like it just opens up into a mouth and maybe has like a couple little eye holes.
Yeah.
But then it's just like a mouth.
Yeah, I love that. So is Fish Mound actual fish though, or is a puppet? Because that's a
I
big
would say
twist.
I would say she is made of fish bodies, but she is not a fish.
Ooh, yes. Okay, very important distinction. I am not my skin, but I am made up of many cells.
So
Yes.
what? How do you think Fish Mound and Machete King encounter each other?
Yeah, what happens?
So I think maybe he's like flipping around with his. She's like been admiring him for weeks from afar, and then one day she kind of like settles in close by, and he's doing some fancy knife tricks, and
Yeah.
he sort of bumps into her, and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." She's like, "No, it's okay. I kind of blend in here," and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you can talk," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a monster. My name is Fish Mound."
Oh yeah, I'm a monster.
And that's the first official meeting.
Man, I'm a monster is a really good first line on a dating profile. I think maybe she should open that app back up and get back in there. I'm a monster. I've been burned before.
And does she say it like? Does she scream it into the sky? I'm a monster.
No. She's actually really at peace with it. I mean, she knows other monsters. That's just a reality. She doesn't feel a lot of shame about it. She mostly just doesn't like all the attention.
Can you just real quick tell me the names of some of her monster friends?
Yeah. So her mom is
Her mom.
Yeah, that's the best. That just has next question.
her mom
after you're
is
done with
Slime
that.
Mold Basement.
Yeah.
And
uh-huh.
her dad is Soggy Cardboard Box.
I want to hear that love story.
And
I know, me too. Next time.
they are actually neighbors with Laser Rat, the Laser Rat family.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And
I love them. They're all so nice and hospitable.
yeah, they distant relatives are some Yetis that live in a different state.
Huh.
Cool. So I did say, I said friends, and you named her parents and neighbors. So I guess she doesn't have a lot
Got a pretty small network, you know. You don't have a lot of friends when you're a monster.
She doesn't fit in a lot of places, and
Okay,
she just doesn't. Yeah, she hasn't made a lot of close friends. She kind of keeps to herself.
Okay.
Whenever people ask me like, "Hey, who's your friends?" I'm kind of like, "Well, Russell got you and Helen got
Those
you
are my parents.
for two. Those are my parents.
I live
my
next
dearest
to
friends.
some ladies who like to garden a lot.
What was her dad's name? Slime Mold Basement.
That was her mom. Her dad is
That's her mom.
Soggy
Her dad is
Cardboard
Soggy
Box
Cardboard Box.
Man.
Man, there was a man.
Yeah. I left that off, but yes, it was
okay.
a man made of
So it has
Soggy
some
Cardboard Box.
explicit gender in his
It's a bit
name.
more monstrous.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's very exciting. So, do you think that the Machete King and the Fish Mound have a relationship? That's kind of the next part of this game.
David.
Okay. Let's look a little bit into the future.
It's just Fish Mound, not the Fish Mound.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Fish Mound.
Thank you.
Do you think that Eddie the Machete King that loves spaghetti and Fish Mound are into it for some of the long haul? How long do you think this lasts? Is kind of
I feel like this is a friendship that almost became more but never did. Like
Ooh.
I feel like they have a really intense close friendship that develops really quickly, but no one like makes the move, and then it's kind of the time has passed and they kind of move on, but they learned a lot from each other.
I'm picturing a scene where Fish Mound and Machete King go up the coast together on a road trip to check out a lighthouse, we'll say, and they stay in the lighthouse. They, out of respect for the friendship, they get separate single beds. And then I think there's a big lightning storm that night. And then there's like a moment where like Fish Mound rolls over in bed and like looks over the room at Eddie. But then nothing happens. And then a little bit later, Eddie rolls over and looks over at Fish Mound, but nothing happens.
Yep,
and we all
classic.
just dream of what could have been.
Yep. And they do things like they schedule a time to hang out on Valentine's Day, but like neither of them acknowledge that it's Valentine's Day. But then they're like, maybe it's going to be romantic. But then like,
oh, you free this Friday?
Nothing
Oh yeah, the
happens.
14th. Yeah, sure, I could do that.
exactly.
Oh, that does sound like a good movie. It would be kind of. I feel pangs already for this unrequited. Like it's there, but neither one of them's just gonna like reach out. Does Fish Mound have hand to reach out?
Yes, she has a hand-like appendage, or rather, a couple.
Just one?
Is it made of
Okay.
fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this just like a fish that's been made into a hand? Or is it like a big fish with 5 little fishes sticking off?
Ooh, that could be good.
No, it's
Articulated.
it's not a hand. It is a hand-like appendage.
Like a tentacle?
No.
I'm really glad we're nailing this one down.
I want to know. I do want to know.
It's basically a fish that can move like a hand.
And I think the last scene of this movie is that Eddie the Machete King and Fish Mound years later have found other people that they are now in relationships with, and they see each other at the Pike Place market.
Yes.
And they don't.
Cute.
They both do that thing where one of them looks and then they turn,
Yep.
and the other one looks and they turn away.
Echoes
And then
of the
and then the
lighthouse.
credits roll. Directed by Ron Howard.
And they both think like, oh, the one that got away.
Yeah.
And it's called Plenty of Fish.
And then a Fleet Foxes song plays.
Yeah, of course it
Yep.
does.
Sung by Fish Mound.
Fish Fox.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great voice.
She does a good job at the karaoke bars. Does a good job.
She does a good job.
I can't talk anymore. Like I
She
can't
does a
say
good
normal
job.
things anymore. I'm sorry about that, guys.
If a Muppet looking like pile of fish started singing karaoke, like I would be there every night. Like that would be
hell
great.
yeah. No question. Hey, so would the whole town. We'd flock. Hey, that was beautiful. I'm very moved. I also need more. Whenever I watch a rom-com, I always put in another one afterwards. I can't. One is never enough.
Yeah.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
Do you want a weird name or a wrestler name?
A weird name.
Your choices are Foul Blessings, Wicked Bishop Who Holds the Key to the Ruins, or Terrible Days.
Wow. Those are weird.
The weird names are like truly like ideas more than they are. It's amazing. I really like them as character
out.
names.
Yeah. Owl Blessings here.
Foul.
Oh.
With an F.
Oh, I heard owl too, Emily. I heard owl for sure.
Can it be owl?
Yeah.
You know what? Sure.
I like that way better. We just had Fish Mound. I feel like Foul Blessings is too close to that.
Blessings is way better.
That's Fish Mound's cousin is Foul
I'm
Blessings.
sorry, Seventh
Oh my
Sanctum.
gosh.
Owl Blessings is way better.
All of these characters are going on my dream role list.
Okay, we got Owl Blessings. Great. Think about that a little bit. Mike, would you like a humorous monster or an action animal?
Action animal.
All right, bud. You got 3 action animals here. Cowboy cat, eliminator eel, or detonation deer?
Cowboy cat.
Cowboy cat. All right, we got Owl Blessings and Cowboy cat. Who are these folks?
Cowboy. Oh, you go first, Emily.
No, I want you to go first.
I think the dating profile for Cowboy Cat just is like, it's just a picture. It's just a cat in a cowboy hat. And it just says, it's me, Cowboy Cat.
It's me.
Really speaks for itself.
For some reason, I feel like Cowboy Cat is a child. I don't know.
No. Cowboy Cat is a sentient cat who can talk in English.
Cool. Is it like just a cat that kind of like can talk now, or is it kind of anthropomorphic?
It's the size of a cat, but it does wear cowboy clothes, and it can stand. It can stand. I should say she can stand on 2 legs like a human, but when she's excited or wants to run fast, or right after she poops, like she runs on all 4s, like a cat does.
No. Yeah. Okay. So she has both all the good powers of being a human, wearing cowboy clothes, etc., and all the good powers of being a cat, running fast after you poop.
Yeah.
That rules. Wow, Cowboy Cat's so powerful.
Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right. That dating profile speaks for itself.
And her name is Carlotta.
Carlotta the Cowboy Cat.
Yeah.
Emily, who the hell is Owl Blessings?
I'm going to tell you.
Tell me.
Hold on 1 second, though.
Okay.
Just doing some important work.
She's sketching a picture of Owl Blessings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing some important work.
Owl Blessings is a 8-inch tall porcelain figurine of an owl.
Good.
And wings spread in flight. And then there's like some porcelain like flowers at the base of it.
Wow. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not sentient, just a figurine.
No, sentient, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she lived a really long life on the shelf of a old woman's home for about 27 years, and then she ended up at a Goodwill, and then she ended up as an ironic purchase for a 23-year-old in their first apartment, and that's when life really, took off for Owl Blessings.
Right. Now I have a question about the lifestyle of Cowboy Cat. Is Cowboy Cat, because Owl Blessings is clearly like some kind of a domestic object that is alive, but from what it sounds like, just kind of knows that it's alive and doesn't really have any agency beyond that. Cowboy Cat, is Cowboy Cat someone's cat?
Not at all. Cowboy Cat is Cowboy Cat's cat.
She owns herself.
Yeah.
This is a weird podcast.
The best part about all this is like, okay, now how do we get him to fuck?
I think we have problems.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but now how do we get him to fuck?
Yeah, so how?
I think they meet on a train.
A train?
A train.
On a train, so romantic.
That's what I thought.
Okay, yeah, what's their meet cute?
They're on a train.
They're on a train. That's the cutest thing there is. Cutest mode of transportation.
Is this maybe like the college student bought owl blessings at Goodwill and then got on a train to go to their apartment.
Yeah, and Cowboy Cat is guarding the president's treasure car that's at the back of the train.
Cowboy Cat is hired by the president.
Yes, the president.
Or is Cowboy Cat just doing this because Cowboy Cat thinks
No,
that
Cowboy
it's
Cat
important?
does a lot
She's
of work for various governments.
Oh my God, Cowboy Cat. I'm starting to become legitimately afraid of Cowboy.
And
You should be, David.
This 23-year-old who just went to Goodwill happened to get on the same train that the president is on.
The president's not on it. This is the president's treasure car.
Yeah, the treasure
full
car.
of all the different treasures that presidents have had throughout history.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and it's not the president of the United States.
No, just presidents.
It's just the president.
Any presidents.
Yeah, any
treasure
presidents.
that they've had
Okay.
goes in this car.
Yeah.
God.
So they're both on the train.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you want to talk a little bit more about treasure than you do about romance, Mike.
They're not unrelated. Not unrelated.
No, not at all.
So I think Cowboy Cat goes up to the lounge car to get a refreshing beverage.
Nice.
Carlotta loves sarsaparilla.
Makes sense.
And sits down next to this teen, I guess. No, 23-year-old college student.
I mean,
not
basically a
teenager.
teen. Like,
Well,
whatever.
but they're able to take the train by themselves, which
Everyone
I guess
under
also
30 is a teen. Hot take.
wow. Yeah. So they're sitting next to each other,
Wow.
and
I love the world where you can ride a train on your way back from Goodwill and see that there's a presidential treasure car and also a talking cat.
I think
that sits next to you and drinks alcoholic beverages.
I think sarsaparilla's
Like,
not alcoholic.
amazing.
Not alcoholic.
Oh, it's not. My bad. My bad. Went to the bar.
Here's
but
what
did not
happens.
get
I think the train is about to go into a tunnel, and then Cowboy Cat has noticed owl blessings, but doesn't realize that owl blessings is like a living being.
Yeah.
And so they're about to go into the tunnel. They both say, "I love tunnels." And they both hear it, and then they both look over at each other right before they're plunged into darkness.
Yep.
And then right as they go into darkness, they're like, "You can talk," both at the same time. And they're like, "Whoa." And then they start making out in the tunnel.
Is that like
Wow.
is that I love tunnels? That feels like it's like a sort of like hidden nod to like a lesbian joke or something.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, the
It's
subtext
gotta
can
be.
definitely be there.
This movie
Yeah.
ends up with a cult following in the LGBTQ crowd, and a lot of people get "I love tunnels" tattooed on their body somewhere.
I love
Sure,
tunnel.
yeah. But yeah, I think they just get to it right in the dark of that
Yeah.
tunnel.
I think so too.
So when they come out of the tunnel, then the teen wakes up. You don't go
The
to sleep when you go in the tunnel.
23-year-old.
I do. The teen. I'm so wrong about so many things I'm saying
No,
right now.
this 23-year-old teen.
When all
they
these
are a
babies
teen.
go through this tunnel and they go to sleep.
We've established that the 23-year-old
23.
is a teen.
Yep.
Yeah,
Anybody below 30 is a teen. That's the rule on this show. Does this 23-year-old just look down and see a cat just like licking this porcelain statue? Or have they run off?
No, they're
Like,
right
have
there
they
in the
gotten
aisle.
out of
They're in the
there?
aisle.
Oh, they're in the
They're right
aisle,
there.
getting down on the ground.
It
Oh
d-
my God. Hey.
Hey.
So right here, right now.
Yeah.
Emily's recorder that she uses to record these episodes died. It's just doing all sorts of really cool stuff that's bad. So, and we're so close to the end, and we tried a couple things. Mike and I are just going to power through. Emily is still on a call with us, so she can give thumbs ups or thumbs downs and say things, and we can relay them to you. So, Mike, you're gonna really got to take the reins on this one and tell me how long they stay on this. Are they like the guardians of this train now? Like, what's going on?
I feel like out of respect to Emily, we should just say they live happily ever after riding the rails.
Yeah.
And Emily,
Nomadic.
okay, Emily, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down for what this movie's rated. Okay, is it rated G? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Not at all G. PG.
Not
PG.
G, no way.
PG-13.
Too much kissing.
R? NC-17. She says
Oh my
yes.
God.
It can only be played in certain theaters.
Wow.
In fact, I don't even know if they do NC-17. They bring the rating back just for this
Yep.
movie.
Just for this movie, which is called Tunnel Time.
What a terrible name for this movie. God, Tunnel
It really
Time.
is. Tunnel Time is such a shitty
But
name.
that's what we've got. It's rated NC-17, so lots of people will want to know what it's all about.
Yeah, that alone.
And
That alone.
so,
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we really have a
think
portrait
that's
of
it.
a beautiful love.
So precious, so sweet. Okay, so Mike, here's the thing. I have one more thing for you.
Okay.
I have a little gift.
Oh, wow.
It's called No Questions Asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what it is I'm going to give you 3 monsters.
Okay.
And you're going to have to say which one you want to kiss.
Okay.
And Emily can too if she wants, and then I'll say it.
Okay, what Emily's going to do is she's going to mime kissing that monster.
And we'll know,
which one it
was.
is.
Yep, I think that makes sense. Okay, so Mike,
Yeah.
here's your big 3. Which one of these 3 do you want to kiss?
I'm ready.
Flowchart Goblin, Cigarette Goblin of the Recycling Bin, or Rollerblading Goblin?
Oh, rollerblading goblin for sure.
Nice. And Emily, will you mime kissing one of those in particular so that we know?
I don't think she was listening. It's so cute.
Oh, it was Cigarette Goblin.
Cigarette Goblin, we can tell.
Okay, good night,
Great.
everyone.
All right, we're going to get the goblins out of Emily's house so we can record next time.
I'm marching,
Theme music by Jaden James and the Hunger. Logo by Christian Hagen. Edited by David Gutchie. If you want more of our hypothetical content, join our Facebook group or like our posts on Twitter or Instagram or give us some stars and a review on iTunes or wherever the heck you get your podcasts. I love it. One of my favorite things to ship are anthropomorphic cats and Precious Moments figures. So this really hits the spot for me.